Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mind Peace. If you're new here, I'm Ban, and on this channel we dive into how we can live a more balanced, peaceful, and joyful life by letting go of unnecessary pressures. Today's topic is something that affects all of us, especially as we get older. What are the things we should stop caring about to feel more peace and happiness? Trust me, by the end of this video you'll have a fresh perspective on what it means to truly live with ease and joy. Stick around because I'll also share some personal insights, stories, and practical tips to help you on this journey. Section 1. Stop worrying about what others think of you. Let's kick things off with something that affects pretty much everyone. The fear of what others think. When we're younger, we often feel like we need to fit into a box, whether it's societal expectations, family pressures, or just trying to impress our friends. But here's the truth, you can't control what people think, and that's okay. Example. I remember when I was in my 20s, I would often second-guess myself in social settings. I'd replay conversations over and over in my head, wondering, did I sound too awkward? Did they like me? This constant worry held me back from being authentic. Over the years, I've realized that people's opinions, though they might be well-intentioned, don't define who I am. More importantly, people's opinions are based on their own perspective, not the reality of who you are. Personal insight, what really helped me was embracing the idea that, at the end of the day, those who truly matter in my life will accept me for exactly who I am, flaws and all. And if someone doesn't like me or judges me, that's on them, not me. So how about you? How often do you catch yourself overthinking what others think of you? Share with me in the comments. I'd love to know what's been your experience. Section 2. Stop getting caught in arguments and drama. Okay, next up, arguments and drama. We've all been there, haven't we? You're in the middle of a debate, trying to make your point, thinking that winning is the most important thing. But let me tell you something, most arguments don't change minds. They just leave you feeling drained and frustrated. Example. A few years ago, I was in a heated discussion with a colleague about something trivial. I spent an hour trying to explain my perspective, but in the end, all it did was create tension. We both left that conversation feeling irritated. Here's the kicker, no one changed their viewpoint. Looking back, I realized I'd wasted my time and energy. What I've learned is that sometimes the best response to a disagreement is silence or a simple, I understand your point, but I see it differently. By doing this, you're not only preserving your peace but also showing maturity. It's not about being right. It's about keeping your emotional well-being intact. So tell me, have you ever found yourself in a situation where you spent way too much energy on an argument that didn't really matter? Drop a comment and let me know. Section 3. Stop trying to solve everyone's problems. The next thing we need to stop doing is trying to solve everyone's problems. Let me ask you something. How often do you find yourself stepping in, trying to fix the issues of your friends, family, or colleagues? I know I've been guilty of this many times. Comes from a good place, you want to help. But here's the reality. Sometimes people need to face their own challenges and figure things out for themselves. Personal story. When I first started my career, I felt like I had all the answers. I'd give unsolicited advice to people around me, thinking that by offering solutions, I was helping them. But in reality, I was just taking on too much emotional baggage. It wasn't until I realized that everyone's journey is different that I learned to step back and offer emotional support without jumping into fix mode. Lesson. It's important to set boundaries and recognize that you can't carry everyone else's burdens. You'll end up exhausted, and more importantly, you'll prevent others from growing through their own experiences. What about you? Do you find it hard to step back when someone you love is struggling? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's talk about it. Section 4. Stop chasing perfection and dwelling on regrets. We're getting into a big one now. Perfection and regrets. I used to chase perfection in every area of my life. I thought if I could just get it right, everything would fall into place. But here's the hard truth. Perfection doesn't exist. Perfection is a moving target, and trying to chase it will leave you feeling frustrated and stuck. Example. I used to agonize over making the perfect decisions in my career, my relationships, and even my hobbies. Every time I made a mistake, I'd beat myself up for it. But over time, I learned that mistakes are simply lessons in disguise. They help you grow, develop resilience, and understand life better. Reflection. Looking back, I realized that my mistakes have shaped who I am today. Every time I stumbled, I learned something valuable. Letting go of the need for perfection is what allowed me to find peace. So here's a question for you. What's one mistake you made in the past that you now see as a valuable lesson? I'd love to hear your story in the comments. Section 5. Stop accumulating unnecessary things. Now, let's talk about material possessions. In our youth, we're often sold the idea that more is better, more stuff, more gadgets, more clothes. But over time, I've learned that real wealth is measured in experiences, not things. Personal example. I used to have a closet bursting with clothes that I barely wore. Every time I bought something new, I thought, this is going to make me happy. But eventually, I realized that these material possessions didn't add real value to my life. Instead, I started focusing on creating memories, spending time with loved ones, traveling, and experiencing life. The lesson here is this: material things can weigh us down. The more we accumulate, the less space we have to truly breathe. Decluttering your life doesn't just clear up physical space. It clears mental space, too. I encourage you to take a look around your home. What's one item you could let go of today that's no longer serving you? Leave a comment below with what you're ready to release. Section 6. Stop trying to please everyone. One of the hardest things to let go of is the desire to please everyone. For years, I tried to make sure everyone around me was happy. I said yes when I wanted to say no, I put others' needs ahead of mine, and I bent over backwards to avoid conflict. But guess what? That approach doesn't work in the long run. Story time. I remember a few years ago, I agreed to take on a project at work that I didn't really want to do, just to please my boss. I ended up overworked, stressed out, and resentful. Looking back, I realized that saying no would have been the healthier choice. The lesson I've learned is this: saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you self-aware. You can't pour from an empty cup, and when you prioritize your needs, you'll be able to give more authentically to others. How about you? When was the last time you said yes when you really wanted to say no? Share with me in the comments. Section 7. Stop rushing through life. We're almost there, but let's not forget about rushing through life. In our younger years, we're always in a hurry, rushing to finish school, land the perfect job, and build the perfect life. But here's the thing: life isn't a race. Example: I used to rush everything, meals, meetings, even vacations. I constantly checked the time and feel like I was falling behind. But the truth is, slowing down has helped me find joy in the simple things. Taking a walk without checking my phone, enjoying a slow morning coffee, or even just pausing to take a deep breath. These are the moments that bring peace. Reflection. As I've gotten older, I've learned that it's okay to slow down and savor the moment. We don't have to be in a constant state of doing. The moments of stillness are the ones that nourish us. Let me ask you this: how often do you find yourself rushing? What's one thing you can do today to slow down and enjoy the present? Drop a comment below. Section 8. Stop worrying about the future. And finally, let's talk about worrying about the future. The future is uncertain, and no matter how much we try to control it, we never truly can. Yet, we spend so much energy worrying about what ifs. What if I fail? What if things don't work out? Personal story. I spent years worrying about my career, wondering what would happen next, and if I was on the right path. But the more I worried, the more I realized that worrying only holds us back. In hindsight, most of the things I worried about never even happened. Lesson. Instead of stressing over what we can't control, trust the process and focus on the present moment. Take action today, and trust that things will unfold as they should. Final thought. The future will come whether we worry about it or not. So why not choose peace now? I'd love to hear from you. How do you manage your anxiety about the future? What's one thing you're going to stop worrying about today? Share your thoughts below. Wow, we've covered a lot today. If you've learned something valuable, I encourage you to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with a friend or family member who might need to hear this message. Life is too short to carry all of these unnecessary burdens. Remember, true peace comes from letting go. It's about embracing the present, being kind to yourself, and living authentically. If you have any thoughts, questions, or just want to share your experience, leave a comment below. Let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.